You're listening to Achtung Millwall, broadcasting from the beautiful South Birmingham. Accept no substitute.
And that noise you can hear in the background of the boys are back in town is the signal for today's game here, dear listener, at Parkview Road for the Erith derby in the Skeffel Premier Division between Erith and Belvedere and Erith Town. My name is Michael Avery and we're here for Achtung Grassroots. Back at Parkview Road after a couple of week absence and after a little recent visit to the combined can is with Beckenham Town. So before the game starts, we can see Erith and Belvedere, the home team, in their blue and white, slightly different from their orange and white a while ago, against Erith Town in their red and black strips. Erith and Belvedere, 6th place in the table going into the game, played 35, won 19, drew 5, lost 11, goals scored 73, goals conceded 63, and they have a rather respectable 62 points from 35 games. The management team, including Danny Murphy, who we spoke to for the pod a while back, has unfortunately parted ways with the club after a big result against Chatham, which we'll talk about later on. And Erith Town is managed by Adam Woodward, who recently signed a 3-year deal at Erith Town. So very, very popular and well thought of member of the club, and someone we've had on our podcast as well. Great guy. He's longest service manager at the club too. Just quickly before we go into this game, the last 5 fixtures. So Erith and Belvedere, they had that 10-1 away defeat at now recently promoted Chatham Town. They won against Bursted 2-1 at home. They beat Canterbury City, which we covered for this podcast, 3-1. They lost against Hollands and Blair away 2-1 and beat Canterbury City 2-1 away. And we're about to have a minute silence, so I'll quickly run through these bits. Erith Town drew 1-1 with K Sports at home. They lost 1-0 away at Kennington. They lost 2-1 recently to Punjab United. They drew 2-2 Deal Town, and they won 1-0 against Hollands and Blair. We are now going to do a minute silence for somebody connected to Erith and Belvedere. So this will be the cue for the end of the recording, and then we'll start again when we kick off. So updates as usual on Achtung Grassroots are to follow. A well-observed minute silence there at Parkview Road, and we're about to get underway shortly. I'm currently with Avery Junior number 2 because Avery Junior number 1 is enjoying the fun day, so we'll have to get your insights. So what do we think today's game's going to go? The big derby, because remember last time we saw these two teams play each other at Erith Town, it was 2-0 to Erith and Belvedere. So what do we reckon in this game, mate?
1-0 to Erith Town.
You think Erith Town are going to nick it the away team, yeah?
Yeah.
That's the thing with this division, isn't it? From what we've seen, anyone can really beat anyone, can't they? Or nick a result here and there. Yeah. So what, first half goal, second half goal?
Second half goal.
Second half goal. Okay, so a quiet first half we're predicting, or a goalless, maybe not quite goalless. First half we're predicting here. There are a lot of people here for a non-league game, which, as I always say, is good to see. There's actually more here than there was at the recent non-league day game between Erith and Belvedere and Canterbury City. But we're going to get on with this. We're going to enjoy it. It's a local derby. Should be some big tackles here, and this has been built up all week. So really, hopefully, we'll get a good game of football. As I said before, we will be checking in when there are action. I'm going to stick my neck out and say I think Erith Town may nick this 2-1. But we will see. We're nearly at 10 minutes into the game now, and it's been a little bit, not cagey is the wrong word, but both teams are very disciplined, keeping the ball well. Both sides knock it about pretty nicely. They're looking for that ball over the top that isn't really being delivered ultimately, but at the moment there's not masses of quality like through ball. But a corner's coming in now for Erith and Belvedere. We'll stay with this. A header at the back post, and it just goes wide for a goal kick for the first real chance of the game. Erith Town definitely not overawed by the occasion or the fact there's a big crowd here from Erith and Belvedere, which I can presume are Erith and Belvedere fans. But it's again, they're not overawed by the occasion. Very well disciplined. Seem like they know they've got a bit of a job to do here, and they're going to do it. So although there's not much actual real through passes or near chances or goal mouth action, it's a very good game if you like to watch two good structured football teams at their doing what they do at their best, really. There's nothing too rash, nothing irrational, no silly passes. A lot of the balls that are being played, there's a ball there, for example, a nice 30-40 yard pass from the goalkeeper to the midfielder, but again, it's a ball he knows he can play, so he plays it. We'll keep with it. It seems to be going quite, not quite is the wrong word, but again, there's not huge amounts of action, but it's only a matter of time. It's non-league football, ladies and gentlemen. You only need one goal, don't you? One goal in non-league football, or someone to slip, and then that's it. Oh, and that could have been the moment the keeper sliced it for Erith and Belvedere, but yeah, again, calm and composed on the ball, and the ball's out. Erith Town now with a free kick that's just been lofted into the box after a foul. Keeper's held it well. It was a little bit of a scramble there. A free kick was given on the edge of the box. It was floated into the far post, a little bit of backwards and forwards. Keeper come out and got it well. And so it still remains 0-0. But as I said earlier on, we had that corner earlier on from Erith and Belvedere where it looked dangerous, and a dangerous looking free kick there. So there is action. Will there be goals though? That's the question. Will there be goals? We don't know. And we have our first goal of the game. It is an absolute, utter piece of class from Erith and Belvedere. They get the ball well from a counter-attack from what was an offside call by Erith Town. The player left it. The centre-back picks up the ball, plays it down the left-hand side, runs well down the ring. I think it was the number 9. Was it the number 9? Yep. Number 9 cuts inside, has one touch, beats the Erith Town defender and beautifully curls it into the top corner, the far corner from basically the keeper's got absolutely no chance. Big roar from the crowd. 1-0 to Erith Belvedere. Really, really good goal. Cannot emphasise enough how well it was took. Again, when you watch non-league football, no, Danny Leah, they're number 9. But I tell you what, I was just about to say there. Sometimes when you watch the non-league football, sometimes a player takes a couple of touches, or maybe it takes them a little bit of a while to get the ball out of their feet. But one touch, great goal. One touch, bang, top corner. Can't knock it. Really, really well done. Erith Town are really starting to turn the screw a bit here as well. We've just had Erith Town run through really well. And unfortunately for them, we're unbiased on Achtung Grassroots, unbiased. But unfortunately for them, they keeper pulled off a good save, and then they cut in the box, pulled the ball, smashed the ball across the box, and all it was is one of those where you just need anyone to touch it and it goes in. But unfortunately, no one did, so it didn't go in. But that's the sort of thing we're seeing at the moment. They are slowly getting closer and closer to the goal. Erith and Belvedere have had a couple of chances where a long ball's gone over the top, and if it was just for a better touch, you'd see the goalkeeper tested a bit more, or at least the centre forward bringing the ball down and having a try. So that I would be very surprised if this stays at 1-0. I can maybe see Erith Town on their current sort of way they're playing, maybe nicking one here. But I do also see Erith and Belvedere getting a couple. I'm actually going to be the curse of the commentator now and stick my neck on the line, but I can't see this down 1-0. I'll be very surprised if it does. But remember this voice note, and what an idiot I am if this does stay 1-0. And we have our equaliser, ladies and gentlemen, in this game. It is now Erith and Belvedere 1, Erith Town 1. A shot from the left-hand side, just inside the box, stings the hands of the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper can't hold on to it, but he palms it down, manages to save it well. I thought the initial shot was in, palms it down well, and the captain, the full team, just follows it up really nicely and puts it back across goal. Oh, I got the number wrong. I think it's the number 7 instead. But he puts it back across goal into the bottom corner. 1-1, can't be stopped, and another big cheer from the crowd. So it might get heated, ladies and gentlemen. We've got rival fans in the same area. Oh, it's all going to go off. Ultras, there might be ultras. 1-1, nearly half time. Up. 14, or was it? Oh, I thought it was 14, but then someone said 7. Oh, whoever it was, Erith and Belvedere have scored. Up the Dockers. And the referee has indicated there will be 1 minute of added on time, and within this minute of added on time, Erith and Belvedere have a free kick, I'd say about 10 yards outside the box, just on the left if you're looking at the goal. The referee now is walking out the wall, and the Erith Town team are walking back. The 7 for Erith and Belvedere is lining up. It looks like it's going to take it, but I think it might be the left-footed player, the 8, who's going to swing it in. Looking down, but perfectly on the line with the lino, to be fair, so we can see down here. The ball's going to come in now. Lovely cross into the box, a deep box on the far post, headed back across. Oh, no one there on the end of it. Really good work there from Erith and Belvedere. should have really done more with it than that, and there's probably the last chance of the half. Erith Town are on the counter attack. Ball's gone back to the Belvedere goalkeeper. Yeah, he's just playing it around with the left back now. So ball's up the line to the left midfield. The referee should blow any minute now for half time. We'll stay with this because there seems to be a bit of action now. Erith Town have got the ball back on the counter. Ball's been played through to the 11. Looking up to the line. Oh, the flag's gone up for offside, so that's been stopped there. Good, well done by the line. The flag went up nice and quick and signalled. This will probably be the last attack of the game, as I said, or the half, should I say. It's been a good half so far from both teams. 1-1 is probably the deserved result, even though I think Erith Belvedere might have just nicked it slightly when it comes to quality and chances, but Erith Town certainly not out of the game, and with the half time whistle about to blow soon, it's been a good half. So keep with it, keep with us. Don't press pause or go on to the next show because you think this has been dull. It's been a good game and a good advertisement for Skeffel Premier Division. So we will check back in the second half, unless something happens in the next 10 seconds.
Achtung, Millwall.
So we're back here for the second half now, and it's been a little bit backwards and forwards again early on, again as well. So good little atmosphere, a lot of people here. It's good in the sun's shining, beautiful day for football. We can get a couple of beers downstairs, as I've said before, at this ground and bring them up to you. But I thought just do a little bit of a summary of the other teams in the division, because we're coming to the end of the season now. Promotions and relegations have been confirmed. So basically, firstly, congratulations to Sheppey United and Chatham Town, who have both been promoted. Sheppey have been pretty much top of the table, near the top all season. They battled it out with Glebe at the start, and even Erith Town and Erith Belvedere had a spell where they were in sort of third and fourth respectively, but Sheppey have done well to stay there all season, and Chatham were up against teams like Glebe, and I'm not exactly a massive expert in the non-league, but Glebe were one of the favourites to get promoted, so the fact that they've picked them to that place is well done. And just for interesting stats here, Sheppey United, they played 35 games, both of them, and Sheppey have scored 93 goals. Chatham have scored 111, and in 35 games each. That's incredible. So they're both going to go into the Isthmian League, North or South, depending on where they're placed and how those are positioned. So in the same sort of category of league as the VCD Athletics. So depending on how promotions and relegations go over the next few years, you could see those teams playing against each other. Glebe and Deal in third and fourth, and obviously next season they could be the ones who are looking for the title. Glebe, we know, put a lot of money in. I think they had Jamie Philpott down there, who scored quite a few goals as well. And with Glebe, what cost them really was the amount of draws they had. They only lost one game more than Sheppey and Chatham. They lost 3, whereas Sheppey and Chatham only lost 2, but they've had 8 draws, and that could be the reason why they lost their pace at the top of the table. Tower Hamlets are relegated. Next season will be in Skeffel First Division, but Lordswood, who are actually down there with them, are still in the shout, stand up, and they're only 3 points off Rustle, who are in 18th place on 23 points. So hopefully for them, Lordswood could stay up. Stansfield, another Bermondsey team, have been promoted from the First Division. They've got 84 points from 35 so far. As we know, Stansfield, I think they were Stansfield Boys Club, so they've got links in the Bermondsey Rod Drive area. I think it's around sort of Tower Bridge Road, around there, and they played in a recent derby against Fisher in the Cup, and next season they'll be playing against Fisher in the Skeffel Prem, so that will be an interesting few derbies in Skeffel, along with these sort of Erith derbies and some of the other places like Chatham, Rochester and all that kind of stuff. So keep your eye on the Skeffel division. There's plenty of ups and downs, and obviously some teams come down from the Isthmian level. To touch as well on the non-league, Welling have really struggled this year. They're currently bottom of the National League South, or was the Conference South, or whatever it was called back then. So it's certainly an interesting time to keep your eye on the non-league, especially if you're in the sort of South East London, sort of Kent area. There's a lot of action, a lot of movement. I think really aside from sort of Fisher and maybe sort of Phoenix, teams like that, a lot of teams are moving around, through promotions, relegations, that kind of stuff. And it really is a good division to watch. Here, if Tanner through on goal, beat the offside trap well, but done well there. So as I said, keep your eye on the Skeffel divisions. They really are worth an eye on, and even if you do at the start of the season as a bit of a laugh, just follow like one team, just just to keep it interesting. Anyone could beat anyone down here. I mean, at the start of the season, Glebe were home and dry, and now they've finished third. Erith Town, who we're watching today, who are keep an eye out for. They had a poor start, then they had a really, really good spell of unbeaten runs, and now they're in 6th, 7th place. So it really is a good division to watch. The standard is high, and as we've said before, when it comes to sort of cost-effective wise, today's game, it's the last game of the season down here for Erith from Belvedere, like home game anyway, and they have done like a family fun day for Easter. So you walk in, there's ice cream for kids, there's like a sort of like blow up inflatable thing for kids to shoot footballs at, with the little circles, target practice. You walk into the bar area, which has been refurbed, and there's all tables laid out, loads of Easter things around the pitch. You'll see an Easter egg hunt. So there's so much to do here, and for the cost of the entire family to get in, it cost us £10 for 2 adults and 3 children. £10, ladies and gentlemen, for a game in the sunshine, which is a decent level of football, which all the kids will enjoy. So enjoy the non-league game, enjoy the non-league football, and maybe some of you listeners will see some of us, me, Nick, Harry, Mike Hayden, Aaron Paul, who'll see us down in some of these grounds next year. So give it a look, follow a team, as I said, and it will make it a bit more interesting for you. Erith Town now with a corner on the, if you're looking at the goal, right-hand side, after a mistake from the goalkeeper, let Erith Town in. The corner is lofted in, met in the air. Oh, it's in! That's in! Oh, he's not... He's given the goal! Oh, there was a moment of controversy. Basically, ball was beautifully lofted over. The defenders rose up really, really well. And the good thing where we sit in our own little bird poo corner, the ball was he's met it really nicely. The ball's hit the bar, bounced down, and not in a silly way. From here, it's a good angle, so you can see it's gone in. Erith Town have celebrated. The Linos flag hasn't gone up. The referee has hesitated. I thought they were going to play on, even though it did go in. But the referees, to his credit, thought about it, blew the whistle, give the goal. 2-1 to Erith Town, which was the pre-match prediction, and also we did say in the first half at 1-0, didn't we, that there wouldn't be too many more goals. But I did think, Chris, did you think for a second he weren't going to give that?
I think when he looked over to the lino and the flag level went to the lino, I thought that he was going to just play on.
Yeah, so did I.
It was the right decision because it was in.
Yeah, so there we are. That's Chris from the local area. I won't give his surname for GDPR reasons, but Wellings Chris as the official VAR, along with me and about 25 other people. But 2-1 to Erith Town, shot from Erith Belvedere over the bar. But yeah, what a 90s. Yeah, it's probably my motorist. Yeah. Yeah, you'll be all right. You got the bus. 90 seconds of action there, but 2-1 to Erith Town, and this will make it interesting. It'll be interesting to see if anyone listens to this who doesn't follow Erith Town and Erith Belvedere's social medias. When you listen to this, have a little check, go back and watch, and just to see what the managers might say, because I'm not sure if Erith Belvedere may feel hard done by. They might be the bigger people and say it was in, or they didn't see it or anything like that, but yeah, it's an interesting one. Like I said, there was a good 10-20 second gap where the ref didn't give that goal, but it's 2-1 now, and we continue with this game. So just another quick voice note while there's a break in play. So on Wednesday the 18th of May, it's the Plumster Challenge Cup, which is a really, really big deal at the grassroots level. When I say grassroots, I actually mean more sort of Sunday League-ish level, not this sort of Skeffel level, but more sort of park stuff. But it is the Plumster Challenge Cup, which is a really historical cup for the area, for Westphal. They nearly scored again there, Erith Town. But it's a really historical trophy for teams in the local area, and it's also one of the cups which is an invitational, so other teams are invited along to it as well. And what is a nice thing as well for referees all season is whoever's the sort of highest ranked referee on points, Harry's been awarded by teams he's officiated. The highest ranked referee for the entire season has the honour of reffing the game. So it's a huge deal, not just for the players but for the referee as well. It's one of those games that you want to be a part of, and I was in a recent referees meeting with Westphal when that was unveiled, and it really was an honour for the guy who won it. Weren't me, but it was a real honour for the guy who won it, and really delighted for him. So if you can get down to the game, as I said, it's 18th of May. It will be at VCD Athletic, and as I said, it's probably the biggest game, cup-wise certainly, in the sort of Westphal calendar, because of just sort of how big a deal it is, how historic the trophy is, and the fact, you are getting the absolute, statistically, and I actually mean sort of statistically, best referee all season in charge. So keep your eye out on the Westphal website or Twitter page for details. As I said, Plumstead Challenge Cup, I think it's around a 5 or whatever it is. I ran the line the other day in a cup final, the level 4 brickwork trophy, and it was about a £5 to get in for spectators to watch, and it was a fantastic atmosphere, and this cup final is going to be bigger than that. So get down there if you've got a free Wednesday evening and you're in the local area. You'll see two of probably the better, if not best, non-Sunday League sort of sides in different regions and boroughs taking part, with statistically the best match official all season. So I'll be there. If any of you fancy going along as well, I'll see you there. Erith Town there, very, very close to scoring a third. Some lovely work on the right-hand side. The ball was played through to a player who was in about 10-15 yards offside. He left the ball. A player's run through from an onside position, run down the line. Lino's got it spot on. Flag's not gone up, or the other chap weren't interfering with play. Cross has come across goal. A player's come onto the far post. I believe it was the 15 for Erith Town. Has come onto the far post, but it's just a little bit too far. I'm not talking like Paul Gascoigne levels of just stick your toe out and get it, but if he would have really sort of busted the gut and committed, he would have got to it. So it was close to being 3-1. Erith Town, I have been the better side this half. So it has swung slightly in their favour, whereas Erith and Belvedere were the better side in the first half. Here in Belvedere, I've had a couple of chances though, to be fair. There was one that was tipped over the bar about 5 minutes ago by the goalkeeper superbly well. It is still pretty even, but Erith Town doing a great job shutting up shop, keeping them out, and now I've said that, Erith and Belvedere on the attack, but Erith and Belvedere are struggling to get through that back line. They're struggling to really test the goalkeeper and get past those final defenders. I'm not saying they've not got the ability or the capability to, but Erith Town are defending superbly, and if you're Adam Woodward, the Erith Town manager, you'll be really happy with how your team's playing today, because they've come from a goal down away against a team in a higher division with a decent crowd in front of them, and they've scored 2 good goals to get back into the game, and they've been very modest is the right word. Sometimes you see teams get a little bit leery when they take the lead, or you see them whispering your things to the old player, but they're not. As we said in the first half, they're getting on with their job. They're well disciplined. They know what they need to do. Adam Woodward's got playing well. It's a nice ball over the top here to the 14, who's the captain out on the side. He's going to play the ball back across goal. Oh, and they're just a little bit too far behind. But as I said, Erith Town are really well disciplined, playing really nice stuff, and just getting their job done. And that's what you really want with 10-15 minutes to go. There's another thing as well. I'm not sure if people who come to these games listen to it know these people, but I'm not sure if this is something to add to the Achtung Millwall bingo. Possibly not. It might be a wild card if we play Achtung Millwall poker shot games, but it's a Sesame Street t-shirt. Full grown man. Sesame Street t-shirt. I can only see the sign on the back of his shirt. I wonder what's on the front. Let's have a guess. Elmo. What's the Grouch? Oscar the Grouch. Big Bird. Don't know. I might go and have a look. But Sesame Street, really interesting one. Back to the game. And the pre-match prediction goes out the window, because it is now Erith and Belvedere 2, Erith Town 2. A really nicely worked goal from Erith and Belvedere. A ball played forward. Erith and Belvedere get the ball on the edge of the area and put it nicely into the bottom corner. If you're looking at the goal, the bottom left-hand corner, down to the keeper's right. He's got no chance. Erith Town is now 2-2. I didn't see it being a 2-2 game. Erith Town a moment ago had a couple of corners that they really arguably probably should have done more with. But they have been in the driving seat. What do you say, Chris? Erith Town been in the driving seat.
For the first half of the second half, yes, I'd say so. But the last 10 minutes, Erith and Belvedere, I have a little prediction that they might win this 3-2.
Oh, so there we go. There's a 3-2. I said a 2-1 before the game started. It's now 2-1 where Erith Town were the better team. Erith and Belvedere have just played the ball across goal and just too long. So yeah, this is a very feisty last few minutes of the game, especially with that goal now, because Erith and Belvedere were slightly flat up till the last 5-10 minutes, and now that goal has changed the complexity, ladies and gentlemen, of the game. It's 2-2, score draw, and we've got 5-10 minutes left, so it's anyone's to take, and with those top 2 promotion places now taken, they're playing for pride, don't get me wrong, but it's also bragging rights. It's two local teams. They're about a couple of miles apart from each other, 2-3 miles apart. Both obviously namesake-wise exactly the same, and they just want to be the superior local team. So interesting last couple of minutes. Erith Town on the attack now, breaking down. It's been played out to the left. It's been put in. Oh, and there it is. 3-2, literally as I just started the last voice note, and we said that Erith Town would be back, Erith Belvedere, should I say, were back in the game. A ball was played long, really nicely done, slotted through to the 14 on the left-hand side. He's had a shot. It was going down towards the bottom corner. I'm not overly sure if there was enough power for it to go in. It could have done, so you'll never know, because then an Erith and Belvedere defender slid in, and he's put it into his own bottom corner. 3-2 Erith Town. And just what a game, what a local derby. And it will be, if it stays like this, Erith and Town have the bragging rights. You can hear everyone cheering how well it's going. Goalkeepers come up to join in the celebrations. I tell you what, it's unbelievable here. Really good game, and it's the Dockers who lead the Deers. The final whistle was sounded, and from those voice notes that I just recorded, and looking at the times, and looking at the Twitter as well, it was in the 88th, 89th minute, and that's why you could see the reaction from the players. Really good game. Cannot emphasise enough how good a game that was. There was some good quality in there, some nice passing, some decent passes. Really well done. Good work from the match officials. Great goals, and a real testament. Neither team can be disappointed with that. I know Erith and Belvedere will be, to lose so late in the game against the local rivals. But honestly, Erith and Belvedere can have their head high. Erith Town can have their head high. What a game of football that was, dear listener. 5 really good, nicely taken goals. Yes, one was an own goal, but still really nicely taken goals. Good advert for this level, and a great advert for grassroots football. I'm not sure what I'll record after this. There could be a few other bits and pieces, but if not, this is Michael Avery for Achtung Grassroots signing off, and congratulations to Adam Woodward, Erith Town, and commiserations to Erith and Belvedere. Up the Dockers, up the Deers. Blondie is now playing on the tinny tannoy, so let's have a little boogie. Atomic.
Achtung, Millwall.
Adam, great to have you back on the podcast, mate. What a game today. That's the first thing I'll say. 3-2 Dan, and as I said in some of those voice notes, which I'll send over to you, just to get your approval. But a real test of character, wasn't it? I mean, you're at Erith and Belvedere, which is their ground. A lot of their fans here. We went 1-0 Dan. We've ended up winning the game 3-2. How'd you see the game going, mate?
I felt first half they do play some good football. Obviously, they've come off the back of a heavy loss at Chatham. So it was how they was going to bounce back. And to be honest with you, I thought they do play some really good stuff. We had a game plan. Obviously, we lost. Who did we lose? Someone come off. Who come off for Chalker? Gamble come off.
Yeah.
Harry Gamble's a big part of our team. And to lose
he's been integral this season.
Yeah, and to lose him, to come off, and then to bring a Joe Chalker on who's 17 years of age, I felt we managed to get in at half time to address what we needed to do. But I thought we defended exceptionally today. Yeah, no, and that's one of the voice notes, and I just said to you before we started recording, Erith and Belvedere, there was a few times they did knock the ball around nicely, but you just defended so well. I've got to mention as well, though, did you think it was in, that goal that he had from the corner? Yeah, it was. Yeah, I thought it was in from where I was. The linesman obviously came straight up straight away. But again, it's credit to Tom. Like, to be honest, I felt Tom weren't great today. He's been exceptional. He's a 17-year-old kid, and he's been really good all season. I dug him out a little bit at half time for for the goal. I didn't think he got tight enough, and to be fair, I dug him out again for the second goal because I thought his header was terrible. But he's popped up with a great header there.
Yeah, that was a great goal. And the thing was as well, so you've gone 2-1 up. You're pretty in control. Like Chris is with me now, who's in the stands. We pretty much agreed that, you know, Erith Town were defensively very solid, very, very disciplined. You've instilled a real discipline into the team. And then they score, and looking on their Twitter, Erith Belvedere, it's the 88th minute. What a reaction from your side to score a couple of minutes later. I know it was an own goal, but still, it was going in anyway, wasn't it?
I don't think Stedman will have that. You know what? I thought once we went 2-0, I thought it'd be the same story. We've been very unlucky this season with certain things and chances, but I think you make your own luck. And I thought some games this season we've played really well and come away with a loss. And today I thought we was exceptional, and we got that little bit of luck at the end. But again, it's great credit to Stedman because I'm his biggest critic. We argue quite a bit about the goals ratio to chances he has, but to be honest, he's had 2 chances I think today, Stedman, and he's scored them both. Yeah,
and they're good goals. Chatham and Sheppey promoted, as we know, from the division this season. You know, they were, Sheppey especially, as we said during the game, they were head and shoulders. They was up there all season, weren't they? Aspirations for next season, what are we looking at? You've just signed the 3-year deal, which is fantastic for you personally as well. So what are we looking at?
Club's on the up. I want to finish as high as we can. I want to win the league next year, and that's a bold statement. I know people will say it's a bold statement, but I think we add 2 or 3 players to the group we've already got. We've got a very, very good bunch of youngsters coming through. I think we finished the game with Tom Ash, a 17-year-old, Jude, 17-year-old at right back, Tom Ash is centre half, 17. Lenny Barnes has come on, 17 in centre midfield. Joe Chalker, 17, right midfield. E-Man, 18, left midfield. So these youngsters have had a little bed in this season, and maybe at times when we lost certain senior players, I maybe should have got more senior players in, but I bought the youngsters and played them, and I think it would put them in good stead for next year.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is as well, we covered the game for the under-18s against Portsmouth. We saw some good players there. I was on the line for the under-23 game you had in the London FA game. You've got some good youngsters going through there. The future's bright, really. And to be honest with you, you had that purple patch, didn't you, at the start of the season where you was on a really good run. So if you can obviously maintain that consistency, there's no reason why you won't be top of the table, really, if it all goes well.
Listen, it's a bold statement saying I think we're in the league, but I think there'll be 7 or 8 sides that'll be saying that next year.
Yeah, of course.
That have got aspirations to win the league, and we're in this division, and there's no point me saying we don't want to win the league. Because that's no good. My aspirations is to win the league next year.
Okay, and final thing before we go, mate. A mention for Erith and Belvedere, because you've got to be honest, I know they're local rivals just down the road, and there's all the bragging rights, but they played well today. And what have you got to say for fans who are listening to this and think, you know what, I might get down to Erith and Town and Erith and Belvedere and all these teams next season?
You know, it was good. Geordie done well today. This is good today. Good day out for the kids. But I know you said at the start there was a lot of Erith and Belvedere fans. I think you'll find there's 50, 60 Erith Town fans that we're picking up now. They were here today and they've done really well, and they deserve that, because we've had, the fans are really good with me, and we've had a terrible last couple of months, and I have to take responsibility for that because I'm the manager of the football side, but they deserve that win today and the bragging rights.
Yeah, Adam, it's always absolute pleasure, mate.
Brilliant.
And good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you for listening to Achtung Millwall. If you enjoyed the show, please head over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a cheeky little review. Arrivederci Millwall. Till next time.
Who do you want to watch?